Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a pile of books here to share with you, and these are the books that I accumulated over the last 3 months. So this is going to be my second quarter book haul. I did pretty well, although I did, as far as Bookopoly is concerned, have to use my free money card and my get out of jail free card because I did go a little crazy in 1 or 2 months. So there is that. So I'm going to start with the one book that doesn't count towards Bookopoly, which is The Lost Carousel of Provence, which is a book that I got from NetGalley. The book does not come out until, hold on, let me look. It comes out on September 18th, so a while now, so I haven't actually picked that up, but I'm really excited. Basically, it talked about an abandoned carousel, and then it's a dual perspective where we find out why. I think there's an abandoned house as well. I don't know, but there's an abandoned carousel and a story behind it. And basically one of my buzzwords for historical fiction is abandoned house, abandoned mansion, abandoned fairground, basically anything like abandoned that we're gonna find the story out about it. Or like old family houses that people are just finding out about, things like that. Love it. So I'm excited to get to that one. I'll probably read that one in August. I might start it in the end of July since I do have a couple of readathons coming up, and it sounds like it might be a good one for that. And then in May, because we went to the Renaissance Fair in May. In May we went up to Nashville and we stopped in Parnassus Books, and I picked up 2 books there. I have read both of these, so I will link the review videos for both of them up top and down below because I think they're in different months or different videos. The first one is Tunneling to the Center of the Earth by Kevin Wilson, and this is a short story collection that just sounded amazing. Reading the little blurbs from different authors and publications and stuff, and it was a really good, solid collection of short stories. And it just was like everyday slice of life kind of things, but some of them were kind of like a little odd, but there was no like magical realism or fantasy or anything in that. It was just kind of normal everyday for the most part. And then I also picked up The Space Between the Stars. This one is kind of a literary fiction with a science fiction twist. So it has basically these people who are survivors of this virus that's killed 99.999% of the population. It is all human-based, so there's no other species or anything like that, and really the main sci-fi thing about it is that humans now inhabit multiple planets and there's space travel, but for the most part it is a story about kind of survival, and it's very character-based. It's a little Station 11-y. There is kind of a religious aspect to it too, but this one was really great. I reviewed it earlier this month, and I will link that, like I said. And then I got The Creatures of Will and Temper by Molly Tanzer in the book bath box for maybe spring, I think, and I think this is a retelling of a classic, so it is, yeah, off of the picture of Dorian Gray. So this is a retelling of that, and I'm looking forward to getting to it. I don't really know a whole lot about it other than that, though. And then we went to Roanoke, and that was in June, and they have a little bookstore there. I think it's called Book No Further. Yes, it's called Book No Further. And so we went there one day. It's in downtown Roanoke, and I was really excited about it. And I picked up this book, which is Sand by Howie Hugh. Apparently he wrote Wool, which I've seen everywhere, but I haven't seen this one around a lot. I honestly don't remember much about it, except it has something to do with the world being buried by sand, and it's a sci-fi book, and it just sounded interesting to me. I think maybe this was initially published in like novellas or something, if I was reading that right on Goodreads, but it looked interesting, and again, I've been in a sci-fi kick, so I picked that one up. And then I did make an accidental book depository order. I was trying to like put in a coupon code or something like that, and somehow I managed to just order things. And yeah, 2 of them were pre-orders that I was going to pre-order anyways, so it wasn't a big deal, but one of them was a book that has already been published, so it went ahead and came. One thing, I always forget to mention this, but I want everybody to know this exists, so, you know, halt in the middle of this. The Ebates, which, if you don't know what Ebates is, it's basically like a cashback. It is legit. I've earned like almost $700 on it in cashback over the years. It is available for Book Depository, and it's available for Book Outlet. So both of those give you cash back, and it can vary anything from like 3% to 10% depending on what kind of deals they're running or whatever, but essentially it's just cash back in your pocket. So I always have my Ebates link down below. If you sign up through my link, then I think you get something, and then I get like a referral bonus or something along the way, like if you end up using your Ebates essentially. But it's fantastic. Completely off track, but I always like to throw that in there when I talk about buying from Book Depository. But this is a science fiction Masterworks edition. This is Engine Summer by John Crowley, and this one is, I believe it has something to do with like soothsayers or truth speakers or something like that. But it's like technology is gone. It makes me think of that show that used to be on, I think, ABC or something, where like the power went out, there's no electricity, there's no technology. It makes me think of that, and like he goes on a mission for some reason. I don't know. I'm not very good at explaining books that I haven't read yet, so I'm just excited because it was a science fiction book that sounded up my alley, and I love these yellow spine science fiction Masterworks editions. And then I also got a pre-order in, which was Extra Credit it's a Giant Days kind of art, like other artists I think did the artwork in here, so they don't look like the characters normally do, but it's just like a little extra Giant Days volume, and I love this series, so I eat up anything that has to do with Giant Days. I'll be saving this one for the summer Dewey's 24-hour readathon, because apparently that is a thing, and it is coming on July 27th to 28th. It's like a reverse one. I'll link that down below too. There's gonna be a lot of links down below. And then the last 2 I got right at the end of June. Technically one of them I bought in July, but whatever. The first one is The Pope's Daughter. I'm not going to try to pronounce the name. It is a Europa edition, and this is translated from Italian by Anthony Shigar, and this is about Lucrezia Borgia, I think is her name. I don't know. I'm sure I got butchered that, but basically this is a real person, and this is like a fictionalized account of what her life would have been like. And this is the first time I've ever seen like photos, much less color photos, in a Europa edition. So I thought that was pretty cool. And this came from my local used bookstore, not used, my local independent bookstore, which is Starline Books in downtown Chattanooga. And the first time I went in there, I wasn't super impressed with their selection, but this last time I went in, I was really impressed. They have Europa editions. They have the, I'm trying to find the book so I can tell you what the publisher is. These. So they have these, which is the New York, I don't know the name of the publisher, New York Review book, which are a bunch of translated books, and these are phenomenal. And so they have those. So I've just been I was really pleasantly surprised by their selection this time, so I'll definitely be back there. And there's a tea shop not too far down the road. And then the last thing that I bought this month, or really technically July 1st, was Interpreter of Maladies by Jhumpa Lahiri. I've been looking for this at my local used bookstore for months. It finally turned up, and I'm so excited. This is a short story collection that I have had my eye on forever. But yeah, that is it. My battery light is flashing as always, and I would love to hear if you've read any of these, which ones you think I should get to first, and I will see you next time. Bye!